Hi guys, for each of these we are going to take the value of 6 and we're going to plug it in for x in each of these expressions to find the value of each expression. So we'll start over here, maybe at 4x, just increasing that size. 4x means 4 times x, so I'm going to take 4 and instead of x I'm going to put that value of 6. So 4 times 6 is going to give me 24. Whoops. And that's my answer. For part B, 3x plus 7, same procedure. 3 instead of x, I'm going to put parentheses 6 plus 7. I'm going to do multiplication first. It's 18. 3 times 6 is 18. I'm going to drop down anything I don't use. So that 7 is going to come down, so plus 7. 18 plus 7 is 25. And there's my answer. Scooching this over a little bit. Negative 7 plus 3. Watch out for that negative. So negative 7, parentheses, I forgot to say the x earlier, negative 7x plus 3. Again, multiplication first. A negative times a positive is a negative, so that's going to be negative 42. Drop down that plus 3. Anytime you don't use something, just drop it down. And the negative 42 plus 3 is going to be negative 39. Scooch this over one more, or a couple more times actually. Part D, 5 times 6 plus 6. I don't really need the parentheses there, but I try to make a habit of just putting parentheses anytime I substitute something in. I'm going to do, there's a couple ways we could have done this. Some of you may have, when you looked at this, combined 5x plus x to get 6x. That's perfectly acceptable as well. So I'm going to do 5 times 6, which is 30. I'm going to drop down that plus 6, don't need the parentheses, and then minus 12. And then because I have both addition and subtraction, I'm just going to go left to right. So 30 plus 6 is 36. Drop down, minus 12. 36 minus 12 is 24. Part E, 3 times 6 plus 8, and I'm going to go against what I just said. Instead of putting parentheses around this 6, since we're only adding inside the parentheses, I didn't want to add another set of parentheses because they weren't necessary. So now that I have that plugged in with those parentheses, I want to do the math inside of the parentheses first. So 6 plus 8 is 14. I'm going to keep that in parentheses and drop down everything else. So 3 times 14 minus 5. 3 times 14 is going to be 42. Yes, 42. And then minus 5 is going to give me 37. All right, so hopefully that clears up those evaluating pieces. Hey there, now we're looking at whether 4 is a solution to these different equations. So I'll start, same process to start with. We're going to plug in that value for, value for x of 4, and we're going to plug that into each of our x's as we go through these. So first off, 2x plus 8, so 2 times 4, sorry, not plus 8, equals 8. The important thing when you have an equal sign is that you're not crossing that equal sign illegally, so just make sure to watch that. Basically anything on this side, I'm going to keep on this side, and anything on this side, I'm going to keep on this side until I get to solving where I do start moving stuff around, but I have to make sure to do that legally. So I'm going to evaluate on the right side. That's the left side, sorry. 2 times 4 is 8. Drop down the equals, drop down the 8. I'm just left with numbers on both sides. 8 equals 8 is a true statement. So, yes, this is a solution. 4 is a solution to that equation, 2x equals 8. For part B, 3 times 4 plus 5 equals 12. Multiply first, so 12 plus 5 equals 12. Notice that I just dropped all these pieces down. 12 plus 5 is 17. Drop down the equals 12. And that is definitely not true. 17 is not the same as 12, so 4 is not a solution to that particular equation. All right, part C, 5x minus 7 equals 13. So 5 times 4 minus 7 equals 13. So 20 minus 7, 5 times 4 is 20, and then drop down the minus 7, drop down the equals 13. 20 minus 7 is 13, drop down the equals 13, and we do have a true statement there. That one is true, so yes, 4 is a solution to that equation. On the last one, part D, we have those parentheses again, so we want to make sure to be careful with those. So we have 6 parentheses, and again, I'm not going to double up my parentheses here, but I could if I wanted to. 4 plus 10 equals 24. And so we're going to go inside the parentheses, 14. So we have 6 times 14 equals 24. It definitely doesn't equal 24, but I am going to grab my calculator because my mental math brain is not functioning at its highest speed this morning. 6 times 14 is 84. Definitely not the same thing as 24. So I'm going to say no. 4 is not a solution to that equation. All right, hope that clears up those types of equations and checking those solutions. All right, this last one we're going to hit is just a little bit trickier than the other ones because we've got a few operations and we've got x's on both sides, but our initial process is really going to stay the same. So I'm going to zoom in here. I want to know if x is a solution, or x equals 8 is a solution. So I'm going to plug 8 in for that x and that x. So I'm going to have 3 times 8, oops, plus 5, drop down the minus 12, drop down the equal sign, 2 times our 8 that we're plugging in, plus 9. I'm dropping down that plus 9. Now, because I have things going on both sides of the equation, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw that line down the middle. When I do a problem like this, I'm going to do the order of operations until I get this down to one number, and I'm going to do the order of operations until I get this side down to one number. And then we're just going to see if those two sides are equal. So, first parentheses, 8 plus 5 is 13. I'm going to drop down that 3 to put out in front here. Drop down the minus 12. Drop down the equal sign. Over here, I'm going to multiply 2 times 8 is 16. Drop down the plus 9. 3 times 13 is 36. No, it's not. It's 39. I guess the 3 still would have worked. 39 minus 12. And then 16 plus 9, I'm just going to drop that down exactly as it is because we're adding and subtracting over here. 39 minus 12 is going to be 27. And 16 plus 9 is 25, if I've done all my math right. By the way, if any of these videos come up and you notice that I have made a mistake or you think I've made a mistake and you're questioning yourself, make sure to email me or let me know that you think there's a mistake there, because I definitely don't want that hanging out and screwing people up. So anyway, 27 is clearly not equal to 25, so x equals 8 is not a solution. All right, hopefully that clears that up. Have a good day.